In this show, On the Road with Garbage and their very slick crew. They've decided to give the arenas a miss and are playing a cramped club in Camden Town. Big headaches for Roadies.
We walked in, we saw this room, we were all saying, oh shit.
Find out why this bloke thinks the people he works with are all
nerds
in a frantic transatlantic edition of Roadies.
Another sound, another place, another girl, another place, another drug, another race. I'm eating junk, feeling bad. Another night I'm going mad. My woman's leaving, I feel sad. But I just love the life I lead. Another beer is what I need. Another gig, my ears bleed. We are the road crew.
In London for just 3 days, multi-million selling American rockers Garbage, fronted by the singer Shirley Manson, once described as the sexiest Scot in rock. They played the Kerrang Awards the night before. But even after a heavy night, the crew are up at Sparrow's Fart. And these two blokes, looking suspiciously like a WWF tag team, are in fact the drum tech T and the monitor man Clay. Garbage are only doing 2 UK gigs at the Electric Ballroom in North London. It's not flash, but has nevertheless played host to some of the biggest bands around. Blur, Catatonia, Blink, Noel and Liam, to name but 4. Garbage normally do arenas holding about 5,000, so the 1,000 tickets for this sold fast. This makes it what the press call an intimate venue. But these Garbage men have decided that size definitely does matter.
Fuck, are we gonna fit all of it in here? Let's see. What are my thoughts? It's very small. We're gonna have to cram it all in. And what are my plans? Plans are to bring in all the gear and set it up on the very small stage.
We're beautiful people, man.
Garbage are different. They're one of the world's most high-tech bands. They do, of course, have the regulation truck full of huge flight cases. But instead of the usual amps and speakers, over half these boxes contain computers.
So a lot of people are using aspects of what we're doing, but nobody's doing it, all the things together. On stage during the band's show, as far as monitors, everybody is inner ear monitors, band and crew. There's no wedges, no side fills whatsoever. There's no guitar amplifiers, there's no guitar speakers. Basically on stage, there's no noise. As far as a drum kit goes, the drums are filled with packing peanuts. The cymbals, we have custom acrylic pieces that actually mount, perspex as you guys would call them, that mount on the drum kit that I made. So basically the only thing that you'll hear, this band can be playing if the PA is shut off, the only thing you'll hearing is slight tapping and a little bit of cymbals. We control all the sound. You don't hear anything unless we want you to hear it and how we want you to hear it.
Of all the crews I've worked with, you're one of them.
For Garbage and their crew, it's all about being in control. And the tons of state-of-the-art electronics enable them to apply the control freakery over live rock gigs, normally the domain of the unpredictable and the chaotic. But here, the kit is the problem rather than the solution. The sheer quantity of it is more than can be accommodated by the minimalist stage of the Electric Ballroom. And Clay is not happy.
I'm gonna have to go sideways. Well, the thing is, if I go sideways, I take up the whole wall.
The big problem is that
10 pounds of shit in a 5-pound box.
Yes. He normally comes on this side this way. With some other boxes like this, but then brings him on the stage like that. Whereas normally there's a 15-foot wing. Trying to make it so that we're not on stage with the band.
All right, 1, 2, 3. Oh, Jesus. Oh, come on. 1, 2, 3. this is probably the smallest area I've had to be in yet, except for the one German TV studio where we took out a wall, but it's not as feasible here.
Drum Tech T has been a roadie for 18 years and has worked for some of the biggest acts and egos in rock.
A few that are pretty notorious for their egos. But then again, it's like anything else. Every day, these people live a life where every day, there's a whole staff of people around them to pretty much supply their every whim. So after a while, if you live like that every day, where there's all these people doing everything for you, after a while you start thinking of it as the norm. Not that I'm defending anybody's ego, but if someone does something for you every day and there's another person that does this and another person does that, you think that's normal after a while. I worked for an artist that was notoriously famous for being demanding, and some of the things that were done on the tour were beyond human comprehension on a daily basis. You know, people that you're not allowed to look at, people that you're not allowed to speak to. You know, there's 100+ people on a tour, and 10 people are allowed to look at the person or talk to them. Whether or not it's completely ridiculous, to them it seems normal in this little bubble that they're in.
I'll push this one up in the back. We move that to the edge of the
A local London crew does the hard labour while Clay and his men get technical. They've clocked that the PA has been stacked the wrong way up, with the bass on the top and the middle at the bottom. This needs a reshuffle. There, sorted. It's not even lunchtime and garbage aren't on till 9 tonight, but the fans are already queuing.
Look at a bit of garbage.
Inside the venue, Clay's been lumbered with the least favourite job of the day.
This is the snake multi-core. It's going to front of house. It's always the most feared thing of the day because it's such a pain in the ass. You got 100 meters of cable that's all coiled up. It's been to 100,000 frickin' shows, and it's dirty and it's messy, and it's got to run over the river and over a booth and down on the floor and come back up here and hide somewhere. So nobody likes to do it, and it's time consuming. And fortunately, we're here for 2 days, so once it goes in tonight, we don't have to pull it out until tomorrow night.
That means a job for the local crew. Some DIY.
Cutting a hole in the door so you can close the door because the club's so small we had to put some working gear outside. You got to get the cables back into the building and got to be able to secure the building at night or close it during the show so don't disturb the neighbors. So, got to cut a hole in the door.
While the door's re-sculpted, Clay takes a break.
Maduro, baby. Yeah. Chocolatey goodness.
We're all big cigar smokers, so we actually have a garbage gentleman's lounge, which is a room that they set up with furniture and everything. We sit in there. It's a place for us to go and smoke our cigars. Other people go hide away and, you know, smoke their joints or do their drugs or whatever. We go sit and smoke our cigars.
We like to keep it gentlemanly, you know what I'm saying?
It's very English, isn't it, really?
Well, you know, 80s drugs, 90s drinking. It's the year 2000.
Higher class of roadie.
Cigars? That doesn't sound very rock and roll, but then the garbage crew are American, and American roadies take their jobs very seriously.
Basically, the whole idea of the joking, like this is something we're doing for fun and it's all a goof and everything, that's gone away. People who do it that way have pretty much fallen by the wayside as far as work goes. It's a lot more serious now. You didn't get the memo? The one that said be serious now? You missed that one, right? Yeah, be serious or get fired.
Be very, very quiet. But if you look at everybody, what they're doing right now, they all have their computers on. Nerds. They're all nerds. They're all computer gaming. They're playing combat mission, some kind of bullshit. Nerds.
This is a very professionally run outfit. I mean, at the risk of sounding conceited, saying, oh, we're this and we're that. I mean, nobody really messes around in this camp. I mean, we go out and have our fun when the time is allotted. A lot of people call us the nerds, so to speak. We're the technologically advanced crew guys. I mean, everybody here is, I mean, I don't want to say they're superior mentally to other people, but they take it very serious. I mean, you see the kind of gear that's going up here.
No, we're superior mentally.
Okay, we are superior mentally. There you go. We are superior mentally. I mean, the reality is this is more than your 3-chord, plug-in a Marshall type band. I mean, look at this. We're talking about hard drives here.
Fundamentally, computers generate the garbage sound, even the drum kit. Although Butch does hit the drums, the sound the audience hears is a sample stored in the computer.
And everything runs through this brain, which is a D-Drum 3 brain. That's what we were saying. The actual drums themselves, as you saw, they're filled with peanuts. So you have this trigger on it. I could put this trigger on anything. So you would typically put a microphone on this drum, and whatever noise this drum made, that's the noise. But with the trigger on it, cable runs to the brain. And whatever noise I assign, say this is number 2, this would be number 1, this is number 2. Whatever sound I assign to number 2, when you hit this thing, that's the sound you'll hear coming out of the PA. The actual sounds for the drum kit change with each song. They do a song from the first record in '96. You can have the drum sounds from that actual song recorded on that record. Then they do a song that they did on their latest record recorded a year ago. Those drum sounds are then there.
It's 2 in the afternoon, and most of the gear's on stage and up and running. Clay has a space behind his desk, but is pondering another problem. During the gig, he's Shirley Manson's bodyguard, and is worried how he'll get out if he needs to act quickly.
Normally I set up sideways, so it's straight access on stage, and tonight I don't have that luxury. I have to go out and over the river and through the woods, so here's hoping we won't have any dramas tonight, because if we do, it's going to take a second to get to her. When I was on stage with Metallica, I was the monitor assistant, and their security guy, Gio, stands stage right and takes care of any punters who happen to get up on stage. And I remember this one time we were in the States, and somebody got up on this thrust that goes out there called the snake pit. And I go running at him, and Gio goes running at him, and Gio hit him low, I hit him high at the same time. And Big Mick said we hit him so hard that you could hear it go through the microphones. It sounded like a thunderclap through the PA. It's amazing. I think we knocked the poor guy out, but that's why you don't run on stage, ever. I know you're having a good time, but don't do it.
Garbage too have had their own problems with over-enthusiastic fans.
Mexico City, last time they were down there, they did an in-store signing where they had to be brought up by the military.
People broke through they were in a record store, and people, it was such the situation became so riotous that the people had broken through the glass. They were becoming agitated and rushed, and they broke through the glass, and it just became one of those situations where everybody was rushing towards them, and we just tagged them, pulled them out of it. Actually had to bring them out of it in a military vehicle. Had to get them from the record store back to the hotel.
This crowd seemed too chilled to cause a riot, so the band are probably going to be able to get away after tonight's gig without any help from armoured cars, the SAS, or even a local traffic warden.
We are the road.